Hey Athlon shooters, we're really excited for the office's latest gun. We thought this would be a great chance to sit down and show you guys how to properly mount a scope and zero it at the range beginning to end. First, there are a few things you will need to get started. We're using a one-piece Picatinny rail and a one-piece scope mount, so we won't need any alignment bars or lapping tools on this build. However, you cannot properly mount a scope without an inch-pound torque wrench, a gun vise, and a good set of levels. Let's get started. Starting with the Picatinny rail, align the rail to the mounting holes in the receiver and start installing the screws. Use an alternating pattern, loosely installing the screws until the rail is properly seated. Always torque the screws to the specification recommended by the manufacturer of the rail or scope mount. The rail is a great place to level your gun. I always level front to back first and side to side second. Using a Wheeler barrel level will make it easier to keep an eye on things as we go from mounting the scope to timing the muzzle brake. You may not be able to access the rail after the scope is installed, so this level will help you stay consistent in relation to leveling your action to your accessories. Loosely mount the scope in the scope mount. For aesthetics, I mount the scope centered with the rings when possible. Mind the gap on the two halves of the rings, it should be even on both sides. Loosely mount the scope to the rail and check your eye relief. You should see a full clear view without any haloing effect. If the effect is present, move the scope forward or backward on the rail to alleviate this problem. Now that you've found the proper position for the scope mount, use the same alternating method to torque the scope mount to the rail, using the torque spec provided by the manufacturer of the scope mount. Make sure the scope is level to the action by comparing to the level mounted on the barrel. Using a crisscross alternating pattern, torque these screws to the proper specification. While the gun is in the vise and the barrel level is still in place, let's time our muzzle brake and head to the range. We'll do it back and After a quick bore sight, we shot 3 rounds at 100 yards. Using a 1-inch grid style target, we can measure how far we need to adjust the scope. In this case, we needed to adjust the scope 2 inches to the right and up 4 inches. On a mil scope, that's approximately 5 clicks right and 11 clicks up.